Hello! I am making a tutorial here on how to skin. Don't know if I really am good enough to show a tutorial, but a couple people have asked me now and then how to do certain things, and I feel like it's a good opportunity to do it now that I've got 100 subscribers and we can be special out of it, blah blah blah. Show off a tutorial and a time lapse, and I'll talk over the time lapse because it's quite a long time lapse. It's like 15 minutes long. So I'll basically talk about what I'm doing, maybe the best way to go about skinning the way I do. Of course, the GIMP, people use GIMP and they do very well with it. But it's not the way I do it anyway. It's just basically an alternative method to skinning. Now, at the very start of this video, I showed you very quickly, it's very quick, I had to speed it up, but very quickly I showed some pictures of the guy I was skinning in Mystogan from Fairy Tale. Because this started leading into step 0. Step 0. Get as many reference pictures as you can of your character. The higher quality picture is better, obviously. Because I usually get all my colours from the picture, and also you need to get them from as many different angles as you can, basically. So you know what you're skinning. Also try and keep them consistent. If you get lots of different pictures and they're not from the same scene, or some are outside, some are inside, you're going to get different colours and it's going to be all over the place. You don't want that. Also, you want to make sure, this is for original characters, not original characters, this is for existing characters. If you're looking to make original characters, there'll be some helpful tips, but most of this is going to do with making a character from a picture. Well, most of this what I'm saying here will be to do with making a character from a picture. I couldn't explain how you do original characters without some crafting. Yeah. It's always good if you're doing a skin shop, make sure people send you a picture of what they want. If you're doing, of course, if you're doing characters, because otherwise you have no idea. You can Google the image, the character, but then there could be so many different types of pictures, and you just got to clarify with them which one exactly is that you want. Because I did that with Shanna, and I found a Google image picture, and after I made it and posted it, I had looked at what other ones people had made on the site, and they were like, a lot of them were quite different. No one was really doing the same thing as me. So I'm not even sure if what I did was correct or not, but it's always good to check. It's always good to check. As you can see, so once you get the pictures, next thing you do is get your colours. As you can see, I've got them all down the side, the top left. That's pretty much how I work. I get the colours and then nothing else. I pretty much sit and skin edit and then draw the thing for the whole time skinning. It takes me ages, but I enjoy doing it. It's fun. After you've got the colours, which aren't too hard to get, it's quite straightforward, you start drawing your skin, which that'll be the tricky part. Because you've got to decide if there's parts you want to emphasise, parts you don't want to emphasise, parts you'll have to miss out, because every skin's quite detailed. As you'll see, I will delete that green sash thing around his torso, because it was too much at the time. There was no way I was going to be able to do that. Because I realised later on when I looked at one of my pictures, you'll see later on, that he has that because that's what he holds his staves in, but I'm not drawing the staffs, so basically there's been no point putting in there other than just to have a sash. But I will do a version with his staffs if I can get it working, and I'll post it if it works. If it doesn't work, then I'll leave it. If it does work, then I'll post it. But I'm not going to do that here because that would take me forever, because that involves a lot of trial and error, and just, that's like with most of the stuff I do with the second layer, the hat layer. It's all trial and error, and that takes forever. So I'm not going to do a tutorial of that because I knew roughly what I was doing with this guy anyway, because he didn't really use the hat layer at all. So it was quite straightforward anyway. So yeah, what am I doing? Okay, I've already started shading. That's quite quick. Shading. People always ask, how do you shade? Well, there's plenty of tutorials out there. There's a good picture, I think, some popular. I can't say his name. Some has in his Learn to Skin by the pros thread in the forum. There's a picture there he's got, it shows you lighter and darker areas. It's a good picture. It'd be nice to have that when I started, but oh well. You just kind of pick things up as you go by looking at how really good skinners do these things, and also practice it. Some people come out the gate with fantastic skins, but practice will always. Because if you look at my first skin, you'll see how crappy it is, and I will update that at some point. But practice always does. And that's pretty much easy. That's pretty much how you learn to skin. Practice a lot, and like, there's tips and tricks and stuff, but basically you won't get better unless you practice. Now I'll just sort of show some of the areas anyway. Like right now, the corners generally will be darker. So this is for the head at the moment. The torso, similar kind of thing, but there's slightly more to it. Then for the head, corners will be darker, and you transition to lighter as you go into the centre. And it sort of makes it look rounder, which is basically what it is. In this course, you've got like a square head, and then I don't know what you can do with that. Probably it's a similar sort of thing, but yeah. So yeah, lighter, darker. Oh yeah, I'm sorry with the picture quality in this. It's like absolutely terrible. I don't know. I was using what was I using? So, Hypercat. It's terrible. So enjoy. Oh yeah, some of you at the start would have noticed that I already had head sitting there, and they're like, oh, what's going on? You're not drawing this from scratch. Technically it is from scratch because I only use that small portion of the head, and also the head I made anyway in a previous skin, which feel free to use. Well, no, not you feel free to use. I can feel free to use it because I made it. I don't even know what you'd use it for if I found it out. Anyway, there goes another reference picture zooming by. Keep using the reference pictures as you go out. Like, don't try to memorise and go, oh, yes, we're doing. Like, I've got mine to the side the whole time, which you can't see off camera. Now we're doing the torso. The front of the torso, the middle bit of the torso. Same rules apply for the head. Corners will be darker, and transition into lighter. But as you go to the sides of the torso, left and right side, you'll be wanting to make them darker even more. So like I tend to go for triangle pattern, as you see. It'll pop up, so it'll sort of go way down darker, because they'll be naturally darker anyway. So you want to sort of show that off with the skin. You actually see it now. There you go. I'll make it darker. Then I don't even know what kind of effect it gives, but it looks like it should, because you've got an arm sticking out, and that'll be shading as well. So that's how that'd work. When you've got parts of clothing sticking out, like the cloth, you're going to want to shade at the edge, as you can see I've done here, and darker, and then make that lighter as you go down. And the grey, see the grey edge, where it sort of transitions into the darker colour. That'll be, you want that dark around the edge there to sort of shade it, so the top part will pop out a bit more, because it does pop out in the skin. And you want to try and show that off. And again, it's lighter to darker, pretty much how you work. Corners will always be darker. You can differ from this now and then, like I did with the like I did with the face mask thing. I kind of differed a wee bit because I wanted to show off the clothness. Yeah, I wanted to show that off a bit, so no, you differ. Hopefully I get rid of this sash thing. Oh yeah, as you can see, I'm still drawing the skin, because you never finish. You never, like, even if you like get it out of the pack, you draw your skin straight away. Like, a lot of the time you'll be tweaking it here and there. Oh yeah, there we go. I started doing it. I think I was cutting the video as well. I was going to save the notepad, but I forgot it. Because I realised I'd be talking a bit, so that would be the point. Leave this to do its thing at the moment. Really happy. Oh yeah, the music from Fairy Tale, which is I'm wondering. So I'll see that in the background, in case I'm silent, but it's something to enjoy. What am I working on now? Oh yeah, see, if you look at the legs, the top of the legs I did initially make darker, because the colour of the light part of the legs, light blue part of the legs, was very similar to the torso. I put a wee darker outline just so you keep it separate and you know what you're working on. And same with the legs, shading wise. Get the corners, I don't know, the corners really apply. I don't know, I'm very weird with the legs, and that I don't often follow the corner rule to make shading, but the general sort of guidelines for shading the legs is the very left part of the skin will be lighter in the leg. So you see the 3 boxes there, well there's 4 ones for the back, but that's kind of covered with tape. And the 3 boxes there, the middle one will be like just a general colour, and it will transition darker as you go to the right box, which I'm doing now, and it will transition lighter as you go into the left box. Because that bit will be sticking out more and the other part will be like the inner leg. So you want that to be darker. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing here. And it's always good to shade your skins. A lot of people put out skins that are shaded, and really it doesn't take, well, it depends what you do. It doesn't really take that long to shade a skin, and it's well worth it to do, because the skin looks much better. rather than just being plain. And also, you know, people will download it, people like the diamonds, all that stuff. What am I doing right now? Save regularly, yeah, that's good. Make multiple copies of your skin as you go along, multiple versions. Like, so you have like, I'll have like Mystogan 1, and then after I do the Mystogan 2, so on and so on. That way, if you lose your work, you're not that far behind, or if you make a mistake, you can jump back to an earlier skin. And also, it's handy if I'm doing things like this tutorial, I can put up various steps online, which we'll do below. And feel free to check out. Oh yeah, capes. How would you skin a cape? Well, first things first, you always do the general corners rule. Corners will be darker. Don't do it from the bottom part of the cape from this one. Because I don't know if that makes sense. I think it makes sense. Yeah, it does make some sense. I think I differ slightly from it, as you can see later on. Corners will be darker, transition to lighter. I've not quite found a full method to do a cape yet. I'm pretty much doing the same way as I did in the cloud skin, where you make it kind of V's. You can make like kind of V's of lighter and darker and so on. You should see when the finished result. You won't really see it well here. You kind of until I figure out a good way to do capes. And I'd like to be able to do a vertical line method for the capes, but I've not really worked out how to do that properly yet. But all in favor. Arms. I'm not even sure what the shading for arms is. I think at the top left corner of the part I'm doing, that's generally going to be lighter, so that'll pop out more than the rest. And so we basically transition darker from there. And I think I end up doing a B, I think. Yeah, I can end up doing a B. Well, the obvious part is that underarm will be darker, as you do with the legs. So I like the B method, it kind of works quite nicely. So yeah, that's how that works. So like same shading rules apply, like the B's. So this is just general shading. Well, not general shading, this is the shading, but rather than shading, it's more like transitioning. Shading is slightly different. When people say shading, I tend to think of if there's parts that should pop out more than others. Shading would be trying to do it. Oh, it's been squeaking out. Trying to do it in a way that makes it pop out more. Shading would be just trying to make the skin look like it pops. I think it pops kind of things. But do you have a good example of that? We'll probably do somewhere. I'd have to go through my skins and have a look. But actually, yeah, good thing. I'll go quickly have a look at my skins so you can enjoy this for life. Next way. I think, wait, is it audio? As you can see, this is smooth. It's smooth run through. Run through. Oh my land. Okay, I'm clearly not following what I'm saying. But I think it's not 100% my skins will be updated. Anyways. Okay, I've not really major examples of part that should pop, but yeah. Well, I suppose cloud skin to a certain extent is some shading. It's not, people were saying people can't contrast and stuff, and I might just have to, but I won't be. Everything's hand pixeled, so I kind of can't bother fixing everything up. But yeah. Where are we right now? Skin. Okay, there's no reference picture. Oh yeah, I'm doing his sandals right now. Make sure you always get the details right, because a lot of people will not do the details. Like if I look on the skins now, they're actually very good skins, but a lot of them have him wearing blue shoes and he wears sandals. So, like even the little details are quite nice to yeah. Even the little details are quite nice to get right, because it means you do the full skin properly and feel like that. And that's when my video died. As you can see, the cape just sort of jumped into existence. I couldn't explain how I would do stuff with the hat layer. A lot of that's trial and error. And we just got to sort of go with this. This video is ending soon, so I'll try and wrap it up. Nice wrap up. If you have any questions, basically, feel free to PM me or put it in the comments. And this is pretty much thanking everyone who's a subscriber of me, because I hit 100 subscribers. That's very nice of everyone to do. So this is sort of a big thank you. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you. See you guys later.